Yes. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Nuyorican Poets Café. Here in this legendary space, we've begun a series called BEATNIX in 2019. First, we did it in-house, and now we are sharing it with the World Wide Web. Welcome on this wonderful evening, March 1st, 2023, the first day of Women's Month. It is an amazing energy that's happening in here. And this series highlights the children of the diaspora in the Beatnik tradition, bringing spoken word and consciousness to all the people. Tonight, we're gonna set it off with an MC, poet, storyteller, activist, representing ID, and one of the founding members of the Peace Poets. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you Frantz, Jerome. How you doing, Frantz?
Oh, what's up? I'm okay. I'm here. I'm great. I'm grateful, filled with a lot of gratitude.
How long has it been since you were on this stage, or when did you first start performing on the stage here at the Nuyorican?
My first run on the Nuyorican was my senior year in high school, 2001.
Ooh! And look, you still look like a teenager.
I'll take it. You know what don't crack?
What are you gonna bless us with tonight?
Tonight, a lot of new stuff still like written in the notepad type
You don't have to say stuff here. When something is new, we do say new shit.
Legit.
So bless us with that new shit. Awesome. I'm looking forward to hearing it. Take it away.
Peace and blessings, y'all. They say that what we do, all of us here, what we do is prayer. So here's my prayer, here's my medicine. I try to make sense of the strangely specialness of Blackness. So I'm gonna talk to you. We're gonna talk together. We'll start with a piece called "The Monster You Know." I know monsters. I see them all the time, never seeing themselves, and so never seeing themselves. Also, never seeing others. Monsters that destroy everything by trying to make everything in their image. Futility. They don't know their image or their visage of their deformed relief on cave walls, inhumane and uninformed, unable to read their names painted loudly on slave halls. Monsters that cast shadows, then run from them. The stars of their own movie. The star at the core of a universe only spinning if they are moving. Monsters that are black holes, utterly invisible, save for the gravity they enforce in their sphere of influence, draining and pulling from everything, claiming light when making shadow, believing paramour but giving paradox. Know that monsters are parasites that live a lie, confusing and conflating life with death, that never confront their creature comforts as indignations. This is the way of the monster. Build a monument on a cornerstone of dust, blood, sugar, and enterprise, and call it home. Be in awe that it stands. Be proud that it is tall. Know dismay and grief when collapse comes to pass, but never see it coming. This is how monsters behave. You know monsters. You see them all the time. Unless you can't see them since they can't see themselves. Thanks. Next is a piece that next is a piece that I wrote called Who Are You Wearing? Because I can't shake this idea that no matter how hard those of us in the diaspora try, we can't really fit in or assimilate to what's been made here. And with that, although designed with me in mind, spaces made to fit for me and mine, despite being tailored for generations unfolding, this country don't look right on me. Maybe it's the molding, because the profile and the bodice isn't holding tight around the shoulders and no one's solutions in sight for the collar slowly closing. This country don't feel right. We are wolves in sheep's clothing, dangerously mixed-matched, but never truly blending, misfits since infancy. We legion of quiet soldiers, silent infantry, pressed uncomfortably against scenes conceived to be worn by someone with different genes. My calves are too Haitian to fit in these jeans. This country and my contours come at a constant cross purpose, convinced my cuts can produce colors for these clothes. I know those who bleed my dye might die face to face with bleach, with police. This is only a test. I must be on display for sure. These cutting edge social programs are really government couture. Out of touch designers with vision so avant-garde, consumers are alienated and put on guard. This country positively clashes with my politics. But how wondrous and grand for me to be unsettled was part of the plan. My friend, disrobed and naked, holding a placard that reads, "I am a man again." More troubling still, I can't tell if I am the model or the mannequin, which stands to reason when one notes revolution kind of went out of vogue last season. But who are you wearing? Thanks. I'm on a little bit of a tear here, man. Let's keep it going. Part of my vocation is the great art of rap. From the Bronx, you know, gotta get the X's in there. Let's go. From the Bronx. I love this thing we call hip hop, and I also try to use that to unravel the strangeness of this thing we call being Black in America. So bear with this piece. This is all new, so dig it. Un perdedor en la sabana perdida. That's a loser in the lost land, but that's a loose translation. We're trying to paraphrase my lost fam. Moms raised me to shepherd lost lambs, caused me phantom pain like I lost limbs. So many hurt ghosts haunt my lost hymns till I found bars to get lost in. Stocked them alone with the pick and roll, with pen in hand, I was locked in. But stayed to myself, got closed off with my own thoughts, I was blocked in. My jail is not a prison. It's my condition, my position. Imposter stricken, bending light into darkness, black hole, reverse prism, wild blessings, divine timing, learned lessons. But all of that goes by the wayside, freeze time like Bayside. Parker Lewis, all I do is lose. Huey Lewis, but here's the news. I got everything I need on me. Huey Newton rocking prison blues, gotta tough it out. Beat these demons off the scrimmage and run my route. Catch up to destiny, claim my proper station, sketch a song, catch hell on Megatron, get back to my coronation. Crown with the tilt like Cottonmouth or Malcolm on tipping point. Yellow bricks skipping, hopping out. Watch them all sit in point. Look at him. Hoverboard down the road less traveled. I ain't grovel, got it out the gravel. against the grain, against the odds, against the gavel. No hype, no buzz to wait die down. Chosen one, looked for by no one, might as well lie down in a bed of flames, change names like I gave Obi-Wan all the high ground. But that's it, tapped out. Okay, bye now.
Yes.
I'm a huge, gigantic comic book nerd, so beware. There will be references to things littered all throughout, little pop culture references. Shout out to my Star Wars fans. I know they're out there. I know you exist. Another piece I've been working on, and these are all like, you know, out the vault. So feel free to, you know, hit me up. I'm sure our information and contact is out there in the room. Hit me up. Let me know how you like these. Let me know how you feel about them. This one was inspired by some of the young people I work with and their transition and trying to get them from where they are in middle school all the way through to college and talking about history. And here's what I came up with. Remember that they Nina, Pinta, Santa, Maria the fam. So if we pray up to Jesus, please know Santeria's in that. I know I can't speak for nobody but me and mine. But fam, these some strange times. Rappers rearrange rhymes to seem fake wise, lead fake lives, ambition mixed with lamb's vision. They can't see the strange signs. I organize confusion. Dr. Strange throwing gang signs. Oh me, oh my people done seen the times. A witness to the scene of crimes from the onset of this bullshit through the auctions up to offset. Now we off it. Boy, I could flip the whole language. Like old ancients spoke Ebonics drinking old English. From my crown down to my toe tips, got my whole soul in this. Not just a diamond in the rough, about as tough as some seashells. A diamond dog, playing God, off the coast of the Seychelles, the bell of the ball, and I'm having a ball, homie. Pray tell. It's a thin line between being spellbound and hellbound, bound for spellman or penitentiary bound just for your spelling. Is this what it means to be an ounce of hot sauce in a world tailor-made for a pound of Hellman's? Because I couldn't make it on Star Search, even though I sound stellar. Too sweet to be sour. Find the middle ground like a starburst in a black hole. That's no sound, but it sounds stellar. Been 10 toes from the get-go. Stand up, dude, so I sound better. But ever since being down bad and then bounced back, I've been down better. Thanks. This is so much fun. This feels like old school ciphering, just kind of going around piece for piece for piece for piece. I definitely want to be respectful of time, so I leave off with this last piece called Ouroboros. Conversations I've been having with some of the elders in my life around superstition and spirituality. Bear with me. And it's coming straight out the book, so you know what it's like. The spine of my people is a delicate composite of vertebra, prayers stacked into a cylinder. A Darwinist selection of stolen hymns siloed and held to the task of supporting a people. For instance, the power of Christianity is so clearly rooted in Black superstition. But superstition cannot keep us afloat. No amount of aunties avoiding cracks in the sidewalks could keep them levees in one piece. So who spit on the broom when the ninth ward got swept away with high tide? How many times did not saying Jesus' name in vain keep fiends from taking things in vain? Rosary beads slipped between thumb and pointer prevent cops with guns from pointing. Not a damn one. We are at a tipping point, an impasse, a junction constructed using the conjugated spirits of people broken down by and propped up by contractions and contractual obligations to Christ figures Which figures, considering the cross, the stations along the road, and Bobby Johnson standing at the crossroads with all the figures he could muster, just a guitar and his fingers. We are the infrastructure of the beast we are in the belly of, like a snake eating its tail, a symbolic symbiosis. They need us. Our spines withstand pain and labor just to stand with our oppressors. Where we are concentrated, strength proliferates. Because if you buy your spouse new shoes and they walk away out on the family come Sunday, how you gonna face the congregation, God, and that ungodly conversation? And when these pained prayers go up from twisted lips, they soliloquy, is God even in the conversation? Superstition gotta supersede science via faith, since belief makes you believe you got control over your fate. Remember when white folks handed slaves the Bible, they offered it like a pacifier, but they held it like a rifle. Thanks, y'all.
Oh man, Frantz Jerome blessing us this evening. Thank you so much for that. That was so powerful. And you know, superstition does really exist. I remember, you know, we were told that if you put someone's name in your shoe and you step on it all day, like that's how you crush their whole shit. There's other ones too, like lipstick on your teeth, your man's cheating on you. There's all kind of crazy superstitions. But we go beyond that. Thank you so much, Frantz, for being with us. Many blessings to you.
Shane, thank you for having me.
Yes, mucho chepati. So we're gonna keep it going and keep it flowing. This next artist is someone that I've shared many stages with, producer, poet, activist, artist, father, caregiver. Ladies and gentlemen, Baba Israel.
Hey, hey, what's up? Peace, La Bruja. Good to see you.
Good to see you too. So great to have you. I know that I visited you recently.
That's right.
In your abode with your music and the jam we had. You had me playing drums and I felt good doing that. That was really good.
Yeah, you were on the drums. You were freestyling. It was all happening.
We're gonna do it again. That's for
Please.
sure.
And and also last time I was at Nuyorican, it was for your birthday, which was just such a beautiful event. I was so grateful to be there, and it was so amazing to see your family and to hear your mother tell stories and all your amazing extended family. It was just very moving and a real testament to continuity and community, you know, and your role in it. And yeah, just so grateful that you're doing what you're doing at the Nuyorican. It's rare that we can feel actual justice occurring as institutions evolve and change. So thank you for participating in that.
Baba, thank you so much for those words too, because it really means the world to me, really. So thank you for that and for blessing the stage on my birthday. You know, you blew us away with your talent, and I know that our audience is ready to be blown away yet again. So do your thing.
All right, well, let's jump in. I'm gonna also in big respect to Frantz, because we also go way back. And I remember doing a recording with you. I don't even know how long ago that was. It was a long time ago. When we first met at Project 2050, I believe. Yeah, it was the first place we connected. An amazing project. But similar to Frantz, Nuyorican holds a special place in my journey too. It was really, you know, one of the first places that I, as a young adult, that I ever stepped to the stage. You know, I was invited by Reggie Gaines. You know, I met him. My father was performing at the Village Gate in 1992. Rest in peace to the Village Gate, a special venue. I remember seeing Tito Puente there when I was a kid, and I'm still thinking about that show. Still thinking about that show. And I saw Reggie Gaines, and he was mixing hip hop and poetry. And I went up to him. I said, "What do you do? What?" You know, and he said, "Come down to the Nuyorican Friday night." And that was a life-changing moment for me. So much respect. I thought I would start tonight by sharing a couple of pieces from my father, because my father, Steve Ben Israel, you know, the Nuyorican was one of his really special homes. And, you know, he would always hang out at All That and Words. And, you know, my father was very inspired by hip hop. He was inspired by MCs, by poets. And, you know, for him, it was most important to test his material on the audience at the Nuyorican. That was his favorite audience to perform for. And he went there literally every month until he couldn't really leave the house, you know, until his health got to a point where he couldn't leave. He was always there. And I remember, you know, he actually got featured on Words before I did, which was always like, I was like, Pops, how'd you beat me to the hip hop show? So a couple of pieces in honor of Pops. This piece is called Without Art. Without art, we would have not made it to the 8th century. By then, without art, the last 2 men left. One would have killed the other, then committing suicide, for he had no one left to say, fuck you to, without art. So grateful that we have art. Another piece from my dad. This piece is called Gene. From time to time, scientists discover a new gene, which may tell us about a malady some of us may have or what is common to us all. I'd like to see a group of scientists hold a press conference and tell us that they have discovered a new gene, a gene which leads us to believe that human beings have the capacity to lead much more harmonious lives, build all the buildings we need, grow all the food we want and need, and have a lot more joy with the same amount of energy we are putting out now. It may take another group of scientists 5 or 10 years to disprove this, but at least people would start talking about this new gene. And every time we saw some positive behavior, we would say, it must be that new gene.
Yeah.
So a little love to Pops right there. And this is a little piece that I just wrote one night. It's just a little meditation, and it made, you know, I felt like my Pops was hanging out with me in my head. You know, my father passed away almost 10 years, over 10 years ago now, but you know, he's still with me. I don't know about you, but I'm not always feeling that good these days. I mean, I'm trying to be in the groove, but these last few years have taken their toll on my heart and soul. So that I ask that we give each other a little grace, a little extra grace, that we lean into our best intentions and give each other the benefit of the faith in our ability to be human together, to slow down and drink in what we are actually feeling, because healing from this is going to take time, breath, space, and generosity, communicated in all the senses. So let's cook for each other, sharing foods that are like time travel and immersive theater. Let's sing backup whenever needed. You rolling around and someone needs some backup singers? Jump right in. Extend a hand or give space. Roll something up that smells good, or just stare into space for long enough to remember who the fuck you are. I want to acknowledge that we're on the tour of History Months. And I look forward to when we can get off this tour, because it's a tour that just reveals the injustice of, you know, the injustice of our world, where we have to highlight certain communities because our baseline is so fucked up, you know. So this is just a little quick offering on Women's History Month as we begin this moment. Women's History Month is an outrage. We're all here because of women. Her story is every breath. As a man, I will be working on myself till I return to Mother Earth. I will be unlearning the cruel and cavalier brutality of misogyny till my last breath. And here's a new piece I'm working on for Women's History Month. It's a new piece here we go. Okay, I'm ready to listen now. Sometimes it's what's not said. I'm gonna drop a couple little explorations similar to Frantz. You know, we rarely get moments where we're in comfortable enough company to explore things that have not been fully, prepared. So let's explore a little bit. Let's dig into the archives. Just a few little riffs here. Let's see what happens. My mind, here we go again. It was, what just happened there, so I could be fully transparent, is that I hadn't corrected a spelling mistake. And I was like, what word is that? My mind wounded, retune it through the music, the boom bip grounds and the chords they heal, raw flay feel words and swords slice open and reveal. Hypnotic loops help me recoup from my own loops like troops with trauma, mental health hot like sauna, pressure bursting, release in verse, effects adverse from life's curse. Despite the worst, my life thirsts remain unquenched, breath unclenched, smell death's stench, no henchman. I'm off the bench, starting 5, starting live, practice my art, survive. Fuck that, thrive, my rap drive, you slap flive. Now each day a battle in my own coliseum. Gladiators, inner critics and haters, you know I see them. Inner child terrified of an inner demon. Been a while since they felt safe from birth to the mausoleum. In between, it's just breathing. We all trying to leave a mark because we all believe we're leaving. Thank you. I've been doing a little bit of exploration. I don't know about you all, but I'll see if I can, I know I got just a little time left, but it's a strange world out there online on the internet. And here's a little exploration of some of that. This one goes out to the folks who rebuild themselves each week, each day, each moment, who reconstruct the scaffolding of spirit and sanity, who face internal struggles born of the past power. I am fragile and strong, resilient and cracked. We are drenched in motivational manipulation, status games, fitness freaks, and life coaches who never share their total truth unless it's a hook to a new online program. Performative tears and stream breakdowns. I won't mention the platforms, though here I am. Here we are. I want to assure you I'm not selling anything. I won't be posting my latest online masterclass. I'm currently working in a nonprofit, a social service organization, trying to balance a life of service and serving my own muse, whose fuse feels frayed. Thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, there was a little addendum to that one. Let's see where that went. So grateful to be here with fellow cosmonauts whose feet are firmly planted in the soil. While souls soar in flight and we know that birds rarely fly alone. So let's lift each other's wings in a radical act of anti-gravity activism, while also recognizing that without gravity, we'd all be on a one-way flight to the cosmos. So let's take a breath and give thanks for what holds us down and together. Grateful for skeleton, skin, cells, organs, blood, and all the mysteries that animate and breathe life into each moment.
Yes.
Do I got time for one more? How am I doing?
I think you're doing good. Let me see.
Okay, good.
Yeah, bless us.
All right, let's go. Let's see. This is like a little thing I'm exploring at the moment, kind of picking up on that theme a little bit. This is not from my perspective necessarily, but exploring some perspectives that, that are out there in the world. Quantum manifestation, Yo, I'm feeling depressed, not feeling my best. I'm trying to manifest, but I got too much stress. I've been meditating, self-renovating, inside, debating, regenerating, loving and hating. Reality, I'm escaping. I'm binge watching, cringe watching. I'm on Reddit, Quora, reading about my aura, journaling on the page, burning sage, concerned about my rage, and learning how to make money. Because everywhere I see a new scheme, new dream, muscles and hustles, funnels and tunnels, yoga pants and bubble butts, showing grands and humble stunts, real estate, the power of debt, real or fake, where's the power kept? The best news so I can stay fly. Now I can make all my money through AI. I saw a post and it made me reflect through a prompt on the internet. Instagram, Instafan, is my life manifesting right? Am I in touch with my light? Have I lost what makes me magic? Cause it all feels tragic. My life is hit rock bottom, real raw rotten. I've been forgotten, lost my friends, lost my ends, recently divorced, feeling off course, searching for a course to get me back to the force, back to the source. And all of a sudden this cat appears. Good evening. Let's start breathing. I'm here to manifest. Take away your stress. Welcome to my live stream. Energy through my eye beams. Invisible, ritual, lyrical, spiritual. My rap's a pathway to personal and community empowerment. So take it in. My skin, my hair, my beard, my flair, my cloak, my smoke. It's me. Is it free? No. Freestyle, but you got to give a fee. There's a 30-day program where you program to see me as your personal guru. I'll give you gems, pads, and pens, and some shit about Zen and neuroscience. I'm mystic, misfit, rhythmic, kismet, and I got the shit. I'm a spirit dancer, psychedelic coach. Do I have a license? I'm beyond reproach. You're so mainstream, hung up tight. You're out of step and out of breath, and your ancestors are calling for your light. Don't close your eyes. You're blocking the light. Don't contradict me. You don't have my insight. So give me your PayPal, Cash App, Venmo, credit card, let's go. You'll get some PDFs and video streams. Is this a scheme? Well, you have to find out. But if you find out, that's on you. Who's ready to do the work? The work, the work. Who's ready to do the work?
Yes. Woo! Bye-bye.
Thank you so much. It's beautiful to be here with you all. I got to shout out Rockefeller because I was with Rockefeller last night, and we did a beautiful event at Cooper Union celebrating hip hop dance, and
Rockefeller will be here this month screening her documentary. So
all the ladies say.
That's right.
That's right. No, she's one of our great cultural heroes. Yes. And so if we're going to, on Women's History Month, I'm recognizing Rockefeller. And I'm recognizing Peggy, and I'm recognizing La Bruja, and the continuity between all of those impulses to be resilient and to shine and to lift. And grateful to be here, and thank you for giving me the space to share. And it's a precious moment.
You are tremendous. You have always been someone with such integrity and just clarity and kindness. You're a pure soul, a dear friend. I mean, we've been friends for decades, and it will continue forever and ever. So thank you so much, Baba. So tremendous of you, man. Just
my pleasure and honor. Great to be here with y'all. Thank you for letting me vibe with you guys. Coming live from the dead.
Oh my goodness. Well, France, we go back, in doing workshops. I think it was on Rikers, like back in the days. Baba, Israel, and I, we go back to like a documentary called Hip Hop Hope about the effects of 9/11 on hip hop. We're both in there, and Rockefeller's in there too. And our feature for tonight is a tremendous poet, one of the most powerful women that you can hear. And we have walked the streets of El Viejo San Juan thinking about how we can transform the world.
Sure.
She always talks about, magic making is not for pendejas.
That's right.
And in Mana, we go way, way back.
Yes, baby.
The semi-underground in El Barrio, where I first heard you. And it's just, to see you as a teacher, as a mother, all of the things that
Abuela.
you do. Abuela también. Oh my God, right? And we were also in Habla. We were in Women Habla on HBO Latino together, and you told your story. Just, you're just one of the finest, and I love you so much. So thank you for being here with us. And where are you? Are you on La Isla? Are you in?
Yes, I'm in Borinquen right now, finishing up this manuscript.
Woo!
You have to be on the motherland to kind of get these stories to come out of your body, right? And these stories are very tied to my family, to my Dominican family, and also to my Puerto Rican family. So that's what I'm going to share today. I do have some new shit. I have some almost new shit. But thank you for this space. Thank you, Baba. Thank you, Frantz. I feel like this community of poets are amazing. And it is this, Frantz mentioned this space of like being safe enough to say these new pieces when they're fresh, right? Nuyorican is a home for all of us. It was like the Mecca, right? If you performed at the Nuyorican, you had your feet cemented in being a poet, right? You were like, this is my jam. This is who I be. So claim that. So I'm gonna be mindful of my time as well, but I'm gonna start with this piece, and this is a plug, and it's not a shameless plug, because fuck being shamed and being ashamed of yourself. But I've been working on these series of workshops that they're called Don't Write About Me. And it's about the unwilling muse, inspired by Yesenia Montilla, who I love and adore. But it's about these people that we want to write about, that we need to write about, that hold silences for our family line. And we sometimes avoid writing about them because they're like, no, don't write that. You know, let's revise the family history. And this first one is for all the women in my family who have held silences to their own detriment. And I put it in the mouth of my mother. When mommy becomes the unwilling muse. Mommy's life is a banned book I am forbidden to read. I titled it Pages of a Life Ruptured, or Mujer Interrumpida, or Hija de Buena Madre y un Sucio. Earmarked for grave upon her burial, she prefers open casket to open mouth, her tongue where history has died. Her hands tight to its neck in case resurrection is promised. In her version, Abuelo's roaming fingers were a bad habit of dementia. His taking of young girls, consent. The abandonment of bastard children throughout Santiago, los días de fiesta. Some stories were never meant to be told, she grunts. Rewrites our memory. Dresses it in pastel Sunday church colors, even as they bleed out over Friday night glasses of whiskey, neat, proper. That's more her style. Uses a hardcore stare and the sucking of teeth to signal my pen back into purse. Her eyes drain the battery of laptops, crushes pages of journals between fistfuls of hair. Cuenta cuento, atrévete. Sounds like te quiero, right? Sounds like te creo, right? Sounds like words burning entre la espada, la pared, and my chest. If a story is told in an empty campo, does it make a sound? If my story becomes an empty forest, should I make a sound? If Cousin Lila's underwear were torn like fuego en el campo, should she make a sound into a story to tell? Mommy's silence is forest fire where fertile soil still burns. When I ask if she is ignited in all her stories, she replies, sigue echando leña al fuego y te vas a quemar. I stoke the fire. She sacrifices truth to it. Maldice abuelo's photo, threatens his edges with a lighter. A good daughter is a daddy's girl who redlines her father's narrative. Abuser becomes caballero. Predator becomes enamorado. Familia becomes accomplice. Mommy becomes unwilling ghostwriter, willing to save face. I am forbidden to visit his grave. She knows bones too can be read. So this next piece, and you know I don't write no sucker shit. We gonna write things that bleed. And I love my mother, I do. And some of that is my aunt's stories, my cousin's stories, just set to my mother's voice. This next piece, you know, grief is something that people want you to get over quickly, right? It makes people uncomfortable. They want you to just get over it. Like, oh, you'll be fine. In a few months, you'll be fine. My father died 7 years ago, and I'm still heavily feeling his loss. And every time I'm on the island of Borinquen, his absence becomes this like post-hurricane feeling. So this piece is called Burn Me Back. Papi's death was a downed power line. On an island, I tried to candle with breath. Tried to resuscitate heart with words screaming into empty palms. Tried to kindle his flame with waterlogged match, empty fuel barrel. Where can I find his spark now? I got no fuel left. Nothing to tender his ash and burn mark, just this howl. Like the winds that follow the eye of a storm approaching my door, each time I think grief has receded. Water has always been my savior, but now I summon the rage of a burning thing. A burning thing that isn't just me. I need the flash of lightning that can reignite a nervous system into normal. Need the gunpowder and smoke of a current that can scorch him back to me. Please burn him back. Bring him closer, set ablaze so I can remember his warmth. I've been told too much fire can hurt, but this agony be a firewall I am willing to breach. This aftermath be hot coal I'm willing to drag torso over. So let these hands scar if it means I get to greet the flash of his smile once more. Let my body of water dissipate into mist over mountain if it means he comes to me luminous, like that one star, that one light bulb that flashes on and off all night after a hurricane. All right, so ooh, this manuscript is full of, like I said, my family's stories that they don't want me to tell, stories that I'm gonna tell because I need it, and I need it for myself and just for my own family's strength and renewal. And before this piece, I'm gonna read this little epigraph that I found in the National Library of Medicine as I was doing research for this particular piece. And this is a brand new piece. I wrote this like last week. I found this piece of information in a study, National Library of Medicine. Immigration stress was found to have a statistically significant association with alcohol use severity amongst men. This piece is called Heirloom. Papi's drinking is a gaudy family heirloom, tethered to both wrists. It turns green when you sweat from dancing or withdrawal. It has Polaroids of 6-year-old me sneaking sips of beer. Calls my brother Macho Man for chugging 2 bottles back to back. Softly pats mommy's ass when she refills our cups. Yells at commercials that interrupt the best parts of Kung Fu movies on Fox 5. It's a living room fire alarm beeping all day, even after the batteries have been changed. An alarming ambulance siren that knows not to rush to our apartment. A flash flood warning that breaks windows and doors on Friday afternoons. A scratched Jose Jose record spinning El Triste on Saturday nights, and a cassette of Camilo Sesto singing Perdóname on Sunday mornings. Papi's drinking is a Puerto Rican flag always at half staff. It's a faded photo album abandoned in a sock drawer wrapped in periódico de ayer. It's money order receipts with names of siblings I've never met. It's a one-way Pan Am flight ticket stub as obituary of youth with little memory. It drags a handmade wooden rocking chair over shag carpeting, calls it Jibaro chic. It's fresh vomit over the first snowfall. It's fresh vomit over the first day of spring. It's fresh vomit until again and again I am used to the smell. It is a neon "Real Men Don't Cry" bumper sticker on a portable cooler. It's a government-provided panic button with no reset. It's a government-provided life jacket that fails to inflate. It's a government-provided job with name tags that spell Pedro, P-E-T-E-R. It adds government cheese to 50-cent sandwiches, calls it gourmet. It's Operation Bootstrap with no anesthesia. It screams, go back to where you came from, then imitates Rita Moreno. I like to live in America. Papi's drinking lives in the Last Supper clock in my living room, where Jesus wakes me up too early, keeps me up too late, tells me it's happy hour every hour. It tells me wine is really water. It tells me just one more drink, calls me prude, calls me puta, fills water bottles with cheap vodka, only serves ice cream with Baileys on top, laughs when I cry for help, laughs at my boyfriend for refusing rum and coke, laughs at my friend's boyfriend for going sober, flirts with my friend's mom who fell off the wagon, strips the wagon for parts and sells it on Hunts Point, steals my wallet, enjoys buzz driving, falls asleep at the wheel when I try to ask questions, pushes me to hurry up, whispers, pero cógelo suave. It has home movies of 23-year-old me blacked out on a plastic-covered sofa, calls my brother pussy for pissing himself, curses mommy's ass when she drinks the last shot, and yells, knowing no one has ever really listened. All right. So this last piece, because I'm conscious of time and I know I want to end on a higher note, because I know my pieces right now are kind of heavy, but that's the way we write, right? And that's the way we heal, and that's the way we tell truths that need to be told. We are the griots of our family. But this one is dedicated to, like, poets. We always want to sing in our poems, but some of us can't sing. Bruja, you don't know about this because you sing, bro. You have like rhythm, tu sabes cantar. I can't hold a tune to save my life, but it changed my perspective completely when I had to sing to Orisha to save my life. And I was like, but I can't sing. And it wasn't about keeping a tune. It was about expelling grief from your lungs. It was about pushing out sound. And I started thinking about all the ways that music has saved us as Black and brown people, as people of the diaspora. And that's why whenever poets get up on the mic and they want to sing, and sometimes they do it, and people will criticize them and tear them down. And to me, that's brave. But on a spiritual plane, when you sing, you free yourself. So with this piece, Canta como mi gente. As a child, I was told I couldn't sing, and I believed it. Convinced my voice it wouldn't be able to carry a tune. Told each cell of this body words weren't capable of rhythm here. Hummed and mouthed all the lyrics, but never dared sing in public spaces. The day I met God on a shoreline in Coney Island, she said, I want to hear your voice. Sing for me. Grief-stricken and begging for a little more life to salvage, I chirped, stuttered, muffled prayer under breath, kai, kai, kai. Jemaya olodo, kai, 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 barely audible. Replayed all the times I was told my songs weren't worth the sound. Falling to my knees, pressing palms to wet sand, I felt the undercurrent, a tune that pulls the dead back into this walking world. How the ocean knows of the desperate burn that spins at the center of chest and longing like a record. How water holds memory of spirituals for revival. How my people in constant immigration learned survival. How heartbreak was cured singing bolero, bachata, and décimas. How seduction was best set to salsa romántica y por poeta. How my cousins warned each other of dirty cops in our neighborhood, agua que va a caer. How homesickness was soothed with Celia diciendo, riñe, llora, que cada cual le llega su hora. How as children our cuts and bruises were soothed with simple tunes, sana que sana, culito de rana, si no sana hoy, se sana mañana. How our paths to freedom have always been marked by ritmo y tempo. Our bodies set to clave upon arrival, pa, 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 pa. How indigenous storytellers return lost souls back to mended bodies with shaker, windpipe, and medicine song. How Afro-Caribbean spirit ignites at the intersection of sacred drum, heartbeat, and call with response. Buena noche, la buena noche, sigue de noche. Our banned books can still be found in audio sound. How our tongues were severed, flags replaced, anthem outlawed, yet still, if you sit in silence in the center of a bate, you can hear the echoes of voice and resistance. How every cycle of life and death demands its own tune. How as we are being birthed, our mothers wail, fill the room, her throat a sacred microphone introducing us to the world stage. How Hector Lavoe knew we needed the power of collective chant and asked us to sing along and dance. Que cante mi gente, la 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 la. The next time I met God on a shoreline in Borinque, she said, I want to hear your voice. Sing for me. I know my pitch ain't pretty. I know my harmony is not very good looking. But I also know that to sing is to release impurity from lung. To sing is to set heart to the chest of the Most High. To sing, even if off key, is to honor how our people have learned and continue to get free. Thank you very much for having me. Thank you to Baba and Bruja. Bruja, te quiero. You already know.
Thank you so much, Peggy. Robles-Alvarado. Wow, poderosa, bella. Your voice, my goodness, it's liberating to hear you. And you have helped liberate so many, you know, not just poetically, but vocally. So thank you for that. You know, I really appreciate all of you saying that you felt safe enough to do this, to take that leap, because safety looks different for, you know, for people. And I feel that I have done everything that I could to make sure that this is a safe space, that I create support and platforms for people to feel safe enough to be themselves. And this space, this Nuyorican Poets Café, although we get on the stage and we play, it's not a playground. This is a temple. It's a sacred space. And there are a lot of people out there that are sick with entitlement, and they need to be humble when they step into this space. And I feel so proud to be a Nuyorican poet, the first Nuyorican poet at the helm of the Nuyorican Poets Café, mujer, woman. And you know, people want to call you boss lady until you have to be the boss lady, you know? And so I just want to end with this. This is acronym poetry for Women's Month. WAP, W-A-P. Women aren't protected. Words as projectiles. We are persecuted, wishing away pain, watching angry people, wanting all parts, weathered against patriarchy, wrangled as property, wearing aprons professionally, willingly arming prowess, wimpish assholes, pride, W-A-P. That's a whack, that's a whack, that's a whack. Why ask presidents who act poisonously whether America punishes with abandonment purposefully, while amounting pesos with arrogant pride, walking around pedophiles who adore pussy, whiskerless, Aaron pure, Wednesdays are penciled with, addresses privately, Wi-Fi accesses pornography, women arrive posturized, weddings arranged prematurely, whatever asses provide. That's a whack, that's a whack, that's a whack. W-A-P. Widow adolescents placate, whispering alarms penetrate. Why, asked Poppet, will anyone persevere? Whites aren't prosecuted, well, that's a purpose. Went around popping wide array pills, whatever addiction pleases, we aren't prepared, wrestling against poverty while acting puny, washing areas profusely, winds agitate pollution. Why aren't people wide awake polemically? Where's afterlife pointing? Witches align powers wishing altruistic peace. Whack, adamantly villainized, wet and pink. Warriors attack politics, what you think? Always pushing, we ain't playing, why? Ask permission, we are pissed, we are Amazons procreating. Wild and promiscuous, we're all prostitutes, we're all psychos, well-aware prudes, watched and perceived, well-groomed and pretty. Writing acronym poetry, that's a whack, that's a whack, that's a whack, that's a whack. W-A-P. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for tuning in here for another episode of BEATNIX Celebrating Women. We are about to open our doors for our WOW event that is happening live right now. I'm so happy that we are also featuring the art of Juanita Lanzo on these walls. Come on through. Thank you to my guests, Frantz, Jerome, Baba Israel, Peggy Robles-Alvarado. I love you guys. Thank you so much. Over and out.